I mean, I want to say it's my whole heart. I mean, feeding people in general is like my entire personal and professional mission in life. I'm just always trying to like figure out how to feed myself and feed my loved ones and just kind of widen the tables around me that I can in order to create more love and connection and community. And so, yeah, feeding people, the podcast started out as a way to be able to like sit down at the table and talk to people about how they're fed and how they're feeding others. And this season, it's just really evolved into conversations with guests who are doing really great food equity and food access work.
This episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I'm talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope you are too. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy Fagan, and my guest today is Amy Dolan, another Amy. I love them a lot. And I could gush about Amy for so long because we both love food. We love talking about food. We love thinking about food. We love preparing food. And Amy just has the best heart and just loves to share. And she is the host of the Feeding People podcast, which I love. And it just shows how beautiful her soul is, because she just is so curious about how people feed each other and feed themselves and feed their communities. And it's just awesome. So I hope that you guys love this. I'm not going to go on and on, but I just wanted to let you know that if you love this podcast and want to support the podcast, you definitely can do that. There are ways you can do it. In the show notes, there is a Buy Me a Hot Chocolate link, and it can be just a one-time thing. Not required by any means, but if you feel inclined. There's also a subscribe to the podcast. I think it's just in the player that it would be like a monthly thing, and it's like, I think like $3. But it's not required, but it's certainly appreciated. But if you can't fund the podcast, you can fund the podcast and just interact with me on the socials. How about that? Show your face. Let me know you're listening. If you would love to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know. I love chatting sustainability. But thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have a great week. And I'm going to get to Amy now. My guest today is Amy Dolan, and this is take 2. Uh, so Amy has a podcast called Feeding People. She also has a business called Wider Tables, like the sort of umbrella business called Wider Tables. And you do so many great things for your community, Amy. Thank you so much for being here to talk about that. So thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Thank you for saying that, and thank you for having me. And I'm so happy to be here. I love your podcast, and I love your name. So this was just like a no duh agreement.
Oh, duh.
When's the last time someone said no duh? I don't know.
I love it. I love it. And so feeding people is it's a passion project for you. Right?
I mean, I want to say it's my whole heart. I mean, feeding people in general is like my entire personal and professional mission in life. I'm just always trying to like figure out how to feed myself and feed my loved ones and just kind of widen the tables around me that I can in order to create more love and connection and community. And so, yeah, feeding people, the podcast started out as a way to be able to like sit down at the table and talk to people about how they're fed and how they're feeding others. And this season, it's just really evolved into conversations with guests who are doing really great food equity and food access work. Most of our guests have been in Chicago, where I am. Our next couple guests coming up are not in Chicago, but it's been so special. And the food system is so has so many different parts to it, so many different components. And so what I really wanted to do this season was talk to as many people as I could who were working at so many of those different intersections, so we could all just try to get our minds around what it takes in order to feed each other, and where the issues are, where the broken pieces are, and what it is that we can do, each day to, make sure everyone has the food that they need. And even more importantly, like not just the food they need to nourish and fill their bodies, but also the food they need to be thriving and to like really be at their best.
Oh my gosh. I love your podcast too. We were just talking about that beforehand and how I was just listening to your to one of your recent episodes, and I literally wrote down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm listening to this episode. I can't even believe. So I don't remember Evelyn's last name, but your episode with Evelyn, she said solidarity, not charity. And I was like, dude, that is so profound. That is so profound.
It's so profound. And it's like such a important and crucial lesson for someone like me, especially a white, straight, privileged woman who often tends to center myself and think that like I need to be a savior to others. And that's not at all what it is. It's about solidarity. Some days I need help. Some days my neighbor needs help. And so when it's my turn to give the help, I give the help. And more importantly, when it's my turn to receive the help, I have to be in like a humble position to receive help from my neighbor the same. And that's what I love about Dr. Evelyn Figueroa. She's just incredible. And yeah, she really believes that it's about taking care of each other. And so when you have enough food and you're able to share it, you should do that. And when you don't and you need to receive it, you should do that. And it's just like so simple and so beautiful and so difficult to actually live that way. Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's easier for me, even though I'm not like super wealthy. Like I love to be able to tip more or like, offer donations to charities and stuff like that. But if it's on me, oh my gosh, that is so hard.
It's so hard. And I heard someone say once that like, if you are always in the position of helping others, but then when it's your turn to receive the help, you're actually not able to do that, then all of your like helping actions towards others have like other motivations to them, because there's a reason, like maybe you want to feel better about yourself, or maybe you're like secretly judging someone else, or right, all those things, of course. But like when you are not able to receive the help yourself, it's because like, of course, you're like internally judging yourself, I should have ... whatever. And so I have been in a season of needing a lot of help and support this last year. And I think about that often. Like I am loved and well supported, and that's what grounds me each day. And that's what connects me so that when I am in a position to give back that love and support, hopefully it's coming from this very deep place of feeling loved and supported in a difficult season.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that, and I've been told this before, and I assume that you probably are very familiar with this, but like if you are not receiving well, or you're not asking for help, you are denying another person of having that feeling of being able to serve somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, of
Especially as
course.
if you were a pastor. Are you
Yes,
still a pastor?
I'm not a pastor. Nope. I did that for almost 20 years. So, but right. And being a pastor was always in the position of, serving others. And I loved that. That really was, I feel like on my best days, like, who I am, but also like, and this is so true for pastors and others who work in nonprofit services like that. If you are not able to receive back, like it's to me a very dangerous relationship, because it can become very one-sided and it has the potential to move towards like a power imbalance, where it's like I'm better than you, or I have authority over you, or I'm just I'm higher than you because I'm the one always helping you. And it's just like that's not where any of us want to be. And like the goodness of this world to me exists around us mutually caring for and loving each other and figuring out how we do that day to day.
Yeah, that's so beautifully said. I mean, caring for each other is just, that's how it should be, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Too bad that there's a lot of imbalance, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But so feeding people, where did that stem from? But that is, I mean, where did that stem from?
I was pastoring. I founded a dinner church here in the city, and I was building relationships with urban farmers in Chicago, and policy experts, and um, food pantry directors, and farmers market managers. And as we were building all those relationships to connect to the dinner church, it was like this whole new world like opened up for me in all that was happening in the food system just in Chicago. And I just couldn't I'm such a learner. I couldn't like read enough, talk enough. And so I feel like Feeding People the podcast started as a way to sit down and just have more and more conversations about what was happening in Chicago and what was happening in our country. So I started actually the first season. I think were all my friends, and I literally invited them to my dinner table at my apartment. Most of them had dinner there before. It was great. And I made dinner, and then we ate, and we set up the microphones at the table, and we talked about like what food was like for them growing up, and what food was like in their family, what food was like for them today, who they cooked for. And it was so special and wonderful, and I loved it. And then after that season, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exhausting. Like, cooking and talking and recording and so we're back this season, recording, not at the dinner table, but still talking about food the whole time.
It's such an intimate thing, especially if you're talking about like, I know you said that when you are closing the episode, you'll often ask what's for dinner.
Yeah.
But it's so intimate. Like it feels like you are sitting in the room with you, which of course it was the first season, but just to have that, it's such a connecting thing.
Yes.
We all do it, but we all do it differently too. So like, it's just like, tell me more about you and your world.
Yes.
Which is it's just so great. I love, and of course I'm a food person. But is that your love language?
Oh yeah. I mean, yes. Yes. 100%. It's the way I show love to people in my life. And also, yeah, the way I receive love. Someone thinks of me and sends me a recipe or makes me dinner. I feel like I pitch myself as the best dinner guest you'll ever have. because I love to go to people's houses and I love to eat what they've made. Um, my guest last week, Sebastian, he's a chef, and he was talking about the vulnerability and the courage it takes to plate a dish and all that. He's like, people don't understand, like when you get a beautiful plate at a restaurant or just, at your friend's house, all of the vulnerability and braveness and hard work and courage that went into that plate. And I keep thinking about that. Like when I go to someone's house, like it is like their heart on a plate to varying degrees, right? But like they've thought of me, they went shopping, they worked hard, they were like, what would she like? And so I'm just gonna sit there and like fawn over the dish the entire time. I'm going to ask every detail. I'm going to enjoy every bite, and it's not going to be fake. That's really going to be how I feel. But I appreciate what they've done, and it feels like they're hard on a plate, and I'm going to like make sure they know how amazing that was. I'll never forget my friend Dominique. She was my first guest this season. She's a chef here in the city. And the first season she came over to my apartment for the podcast. And she's one of the best chefs I know. Her food is amazing. And I was like, I can't believe I'm cooking for her. My husband had just become vegan. And so it was like and she's not vegan. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she talked about that dish the whole time. And I'll never forget like how I was like, there's no way she thinks that about this dish, but she's nothing but authentic. So she talked about every ingredient and still when I see her, I'm going to see her this weekend. She's going to say, remember that dish you made me, Amy? And it's just like that's who I want to be. Like that's who I want to be no matter where I go. If someone has put their courage on a plate to me, like I'm going to receive all that with just such incredible love.
Wow. That I can imagine that stress of like for a chef. I don't do that. I mean, I have a ton of anxiety over cooking. Like I don't invite people over often because I'm like, what if it doesn't cook at the right time and everything's not ready at the same time? And
what if it does?
Oh, I know. It's just so stressful for me. Um, and then, but then at the same time, I love to go to other people's homes because they're all so comfortable with it. They're like, here, we'll just, have a plate. Um, but I mean, I did do it once and people said it was really great, whatever, but I think it was not. I think there's just nice things that people say. But you're talking about Sebastian and the vulnerability and the heart that goes into like it's not something that I think that's not something that a lot of people think about. If you're going to a restaurant, you expect it. You expect it to be beautiful, but it's like if you really care about it, it's more than just a beautiful plate.
Yes.
Right? The plating is like it's art, and the food is a love language, and it's just like there's so much to it, and now I feel bad that I never go out to dinner. I totally get that. I get that.
Yeah.
That vulnerable feeling of like, please like this food that I put out there for you. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, but it's so and it's practice and it's doing, what and what you mentioned like your friend when you go to your friends they seem comfortable, right? And my guess would be that's because they're doing the dishes they feel comfortable with, right? Like not I have a certain repertoire, and if I'm going to try something new with guests coming over, it's still going to be within a certain category of factors that make me comfortable, right? And so I think just like figuring out what it is that makes you feel good in the kitchen that will make, your guests feel good, and going with that, because that's when everyone feels the love. It's not when it's like super fancy and overdone and took 10 hours to do. It's someone's like, wow, I can see you in this dish. And that's the best part.
Yeah, well, for sure. All right. So, can you tell us about Sunday church or
Mm.
church supper church?
Love it. Yes.
Tell me what it is because I can't even say it.
My husband likes to tease me that I name things exactly as they are, which is actually like should be like the simplest, easiest thing, but I think it makes it everything more complicated because nobody expects it to be that straightforward. Feeding People is a podcast about feeding people.
Oh,
So yes, Sunday supper church.
supper church.
um, Sometimes people would call it Sunday supper club, which is fine too. I went with that too. Yeah. Um, but Sunday supper church, we started in 2017. Our first Sunday dinner actually was in January, the weekend that Trump was inaugurated, which was just so wild. Obviously, like we didn't intend for that, but that's when it happened. And so it kind of seemed like our church was sort of running parallel with his presidency and what was happening, and specifically in the ways that we were being fed and feeding each other at the table. The purpose of that was connection with each other, expanded faith, but then also that we would stand up from the table on Sunday nights and go back into our lives and act with justice and with love. And, if we needed to protest, if we needed to speak, if we needed to donate, whatever it is that we needed to do in order to make sure that everyone's rights were being protected and everybody was being cared for. And often in his administration that wasn't the case, so we often pulled up from our chairs on Sunday night and had a lot of like justice work to do. But I pastored that church for 5 years, and it was just the most wonderful. I feel like it's just like the most wonderful thing I've done so far with my life. It was, a lot of us felt like a lot of us came from various faith backgrounds and wanted a dinner experience where we could connect a little bit more intimately than in some of the big churches we had been in the past. And so, yeah, we gathered on Sunday nights. We had a chef in our church who made a beautiful dinner, and we ate together. We had a theme, we had a discussion, and then, yeah, we went back into our lives to really do what we could to love our neighbors and each other. And it was really, really special. We had the last 2 years of church we did during the pandemic. And so we had virtual dinner church where we had Sunday night church through Zoom, but we still had food and we ate together, and it was like really, really special. So yeah, it was a really beautiful season in my life.
Wow. I mean, it sounds sort of like a think tank with the people from all different sort of backgrounds, and just like sort of brainstorming like, now how do we make this work, and how do we just take care of everyone and make sure that people are left out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sounds really, really cool.
Thank you.
And you organized that?
Yep, I founded it, but then we had a whole team of people. I had a co-pastor and a whole team of people who did the food, we had like a farmer's market we organized on Sunday night church so people could fill their bags with like produce as they left. We had special children's dinner and children's activities, and we had the mantra, we create church together. And so the experience was what it was on a Sunday night because of the people who were there and how we led and created that experience together. So it was really, really special.
That sounds really special. I mean, it just sounds like I am not a super religious person, but like I will say, music is my church, or
yeah,
is my church and stuff like that. But like being together and taking care of each other is like church.
Yes. Right.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Are you struggling to find balance amidst work, family, and finances? Meet Money Coach Connor. Say farewell to stress and uncertainty. Get personalized support to conquer the financial overwhelm. Transform your financial future today. Connect with Coach Connor at Progress Solutions and take the first step. Just see the link in the show notes for how to reach Coach Connor.
And I remember you saying that you would like invite people over and widen your tables. And so I'm guessing that that's what wider tables is. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like including more people and can you like wider tables is older than feeding people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wider tables, yeah, is just a mantra and a phrase, just kind of like we've been using for a while. And it doesn't always, for me personally, it doesn't always mean like bigger, longer, literally more people at the table. Like one thing I've learned about myself recently is that I need to just be mindful of the people that I'm inviting to my table and the energy that I'm inviting into my home. It used to be for me like anyone all the time. And for that season, that was great and right and really good. But for this season now, it's like a very mindful invitation that's who are the people who are going to be great energy for me and in my home, and I can contribute great energy to as well. But the idea wider table for myself is really about like how are we constantly like widening the table of our mind and our heart in order to be thinking about like who we're sitting with, how we're eating, how we're helping those who are hungry still. And yeah, always thinking about, that's what I love so much about food. It just feels like there's endless possibilities to it. There's endless creativity that you can put into a recipe or an ingredient or things like that. And that's what sitting at tables and widening tables means to me. It's just endless opportunity to learn, to expand our mind, to connect with each other. And so what is it that really, it's like widening my heart all the time. Like, what is it now that I need at a table or that I can give someone at a table? And let's do that.
I love your big heart.
Oh, I love your responses. Can we just do this every day?
That just sounds so nice. And it's like sometimes it feels almost like you're speaking for everyone. Like I feel like a lot of your responses are like things that I would love to be able to say and things that I feel, but I don't put into words or put into action as much as I would like to. Because I also love the idea of feeding people and I have a small jam business, but it's not like
yes
not like charity or anything, but I do love connecting with people over food. And then I just and I also volunteer at a garden at a farm that grows food to donate to food banks.
That's amazing.
It's like there are things that I feel gifted. No, I have skills that I'm able to contribute.
Yes, right.
Even though I don't have lots of money, I can still contribute in my ways of volunteering and stuff.
And that's what we all have to do. That's what I say all the time is like, you have to literally like look in your pantry, metaphorically and literally, and say like, what is it right now that I have? Right? Like you've got your beautiful jam, you've got your beautiful garden. Like that is literally the time and talents that you have right now in your life. And that's how you're going to do it. And so, I mean, just imagine like if we all did that, because then we would start with what we have right now, as opposed to like, well, someday when I have, like more money, a better dining room table, fancier food, my cooking class.
And I'll have people over.
Then I'll have people over. And I'm always just like, just literally like, what do you have today? Who are the people in your life? What resources do you have? And how can you do something today? Right. And just if we all did that, it would be incredible. So I love what you do with your jam. And oh, this is what you get when you interview a podcast host. I have a question for you. But like when you are making your jam and then like connecting with your customers, how do you feel inside? What does that mean for you?
It's amazing. It's conflicting for me because of my anxiety and self-esteem. Like someone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best jam." I'm like, "Seriously, fruit, sugar packed in." They're like, how do you do that? I'm like, I'm reading a book.
Yes.
But it's like it makes me feel imposter syndrome in a big way,
Hmm. Hmm.
because it's literally just stirring stuff and putting it in a jar. But at the same time, I had my jam is in a couple of farm stores, and one of the
Mm.
farmers invited me over for Small Business Saturday to like offer samples and stuff. And so
Mm.
I have a marmalade that I love, and she tried it. She was like, "Oh my gosh, it is transcendent." And I'm like, "Right, okay,
Yes.
but you liked
Yes.
it, and that's great."
Yes.
But yeah, it's a great feeling. I mean, and I just love getting to meet people, and
Yes.
it's always interesting to me to see who is supporting of that. Um, but I have whenever someone orders jam, I always send a nice little handwritten card, a thank you
Oh my
card.
gosh.
And I just commented on someone's post on Instagram the other day, and a lot of people have like liked it, but it was like um it was one of those like if you buy something from Target, they're not gonna care.
Hmm.
But if
Right.
you buy
Right.
small business, it really means the world. And so I said, I have a small business, and whenever someone orders, I do a thank you card saying that it means the world. And I said, because it does,
Yes.
as a small business, like it affects me, um, as opposed to, the big box stores that are like,
Yes.
that's,
Yes.
that's money. That's great.
Hmm.
But
Right.
supporting each other, I think, is a really big deal.
Hmm.
Using our skills to support other people and to feed other people. It's all like it all goes together. Like we just use our skills to take care of each other.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. But thank you so much for doing that in Chicago. Oh my gosh, like
Mm.
organizing all that stuff. Holy moly. I am just listening to your episodes, Amy, and now, now we've talked twice
Yes.
for a good amount of time.
We are besties.
I have such a I feel like I have a really good feeling for who you are, and
Mm.
you are just love. Like you are
Oh.
just like embracing everyone, and I just love the way that you say it so simply. Like I just, we just need to take care of each other. It's it is that simple. It really is that simple, but we are so like I feel like conditioned or something, like there's this
Hmm.
segregation which is so weird,
Yeah.
but we're all the same people. We're all the same people.
I mean, it's very simple, but the systems in place, of course, make it very complicated and very hard. And so I have to remind myself every day, like we are living in a country that is actively like opposing us taking care of each other, right? Because if we take care of each other, then we don't need certain structures, and certain things lose their power and certain people lose their power. And so I always think like the power really is in our community, our connection, our taking care of each other, because that's where it's all at, and that's how it's going to go. So it's understandable that it feels complicated and hard every day. And also we all carry certain degrees of trauma and grief and stuff that prevent us from living how we want to live. But yeah, the beautiful moments in my life where I can see where others really took care of me and I was able to take care of them are like and you've had these too, the moments like your body and your mind say like, oh, this feels good, this is right, this is the way it should be, and it's just like, okay, cling on to those moments even in anxious times or stressful times, and remember like, okay, what was that, what did we do, how do we take care of each other in those moments?
Right. uh yeah, I mean, there was a thought, I had a thought, but I mean it you're right. I mean, the systems that are in place, and we just have to um do what we can to, with what we have. So um there are pressures, and there are laws and
Mm-hmm.
that make things complicated, but we just have to
Mm-hmm.
think smaller.
Yes.
Smaller. Just,
Yes.
it's not, the government does not have to be involved or whatever. We just have to make sure that people are not going hungry. Oh my
Yes. Exactly.
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, oh my gosh. I love your message so much. It's so powerful.
Mm. Thank you.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna start crying. But I was there is there another message that you wanted to share? I mean, I definitely want to ask you about sustainability and how people can find you,
Mm.
but is there another message that you wanted to share just to
Mm.
while we're here right now?
I mean, I love your show on sustainability. I love what you're doing. I love how you're interviewing people at all different cross points of sustainability, because that's what it is, right? And so when I think about sustainability specifically, I mean, it can be overwhelming, especially when it comes to food and waste and environment and everything. And so I have to always think, what can I do? Right. And I think about sustainability when it comes to dinner parties. And I wanted to say this, that if you feel like sometimes at a dinner, when I'm thinking about a dinner party, I get very anxious, specifically around, is there going to be enough food? That's what I worry about, right? Because like the worst thing that could happen is like not enough food and everyone's hungry and goes home crabby. And so oftentimes I notice when I'm most anxious and stressed, I overbuy food, right? Just in case, and especially last minute. We have two grocery stores we can walk to, and so it's like we're just walking quick before the dinner party to get something just in case, right? And then it's like always way too much, and so yeah, I just want to like share the message that if you're thinking about entertaining more often or inviting people to your table, your home cooked dinner table more often, do what you can to like ground yourself first in like an abundance mindset and like there will be enough and we'll figure it out and it's going to be okay. And so you don't have to overbuy, you don't have to panic, you don't have to have like 3 backup mac and cheeses waiting in the fridge. I'm always like, I think I have a box of mac and cheese in the pantry if everything goes wrong. You don't, okay, fine. But also like ground yourself in abundance. There's enough. And these are people I've invited over who love me on some level, said yes to this invitation, and it's going to be okay. And so I think that's like really helped me throughout the years be more sustainable in the dinner parties I throw. I'm not overbuying, I'm not wasting food. And I'm noticing when all of that is connected to my anxiety and my stress versus like, what do I already have in the fridge? What can I make from what I have? How can I ask for help? I never used, everyone offers like, what can I bring to your dinner? And I used to say like, no, 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 nothing. And now I'm just like, oh yeah, please hold while I figure out exactly what you can bring. And I do. I think about like, what do I need for this meal and what would be helpful to me? And also would they enjoy? Like, do they know a lot about wine? Great. You bring the wine. Are they a really great baker? You bring the dessert, and it's, people want that. That's what's like so new to people. They're not saying like, what can I bring to just be polite most of the time. They really do want to contribute. And if you can ask them for something that's helpful along the lines of something they're excited about, even better. It's like a match made in beautiful heaven,
Yeah.
I had 2 friends come over for dinner Sunday, and I said, I had the meal ready, and I just said, can you just bring a drink? Just bring any kind of drink you love, whatever. And they brought this bottle of Japanese whiskey. Have you ever had Japanese? No, me neither. And they said, we'd like to drink it straight up. And I was like, we're going to do whatever you want to do. And I brought out the glasses and we just had little tastes and I was like, this is so delicious. I've never had anything more delicious than this. And they were so happy because it was their favorite and they wanted to share it with us. And I was just like, great, this is what it should be. Like,
Right.
I shouldn't get stressed about the drinks and the dinner and the bread and the dessert and, but then we have this really connective moment like this where they're sharing what they love with me. And I'm so happy that they've brought So sustainability in dinner parties, like do not stress, use what you have, ask for help.
Right. Well, I think that I remember you saying that earlier, that you're more mindful about that, and that's a very like looking out for yourself thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna just say everyone's welcome.
Right.
So please come in and we'll find something for you to eat. But to be more mindful about that. But I do enjoy the whole like we'll prepare the main meal, but if you can bring, do you
Yeah.
like to bake? Do you like to, are you a drink person? But then, but I hate's a strong word. Potluck dinners.
Hmm.
You're like, bring bring whatever. Like,
Yes.
give me an idea. Like, what do you,
Exactly.
because I'm just like, should I make salad? Should I do dessert? Should I do,
Yeah.
it's just so hard. But the way that you're doing it also invites, um, it invites hearts to share, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
they're bringing something that they love, and you get to feel that and enjoy that and appreciate that, and
Yes.
they're, and everyone gets fed and everyone gets to share a little bit of themselves, which is, that's so beautiful. And that's like what a dinner party is about, right?
Yes. That's what you want.
And
Exactly.
it's saving you that little bit of work.
Ex- Saving you from having to take another walk to the grocery store.
Yeah, or stressing about all the courses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's less for you, but it's also more for you because they're
Yes.
back in. Oh,
Yes. Right.
that sounds so nice.
Oh my gosh. You got to come for dinner. Listen.
I will come for dinner. Well,
Okay, good.
from Chicago.
Good.
But so sustainability for you, Amy, what do you say about sustainability? I know it's a big word.
It's such a big word. I love that you ask your guests that, and everyone has a different perspective, right? It's not just one thing all the time. Sustainability always to me is kind of the theme of what we've been talking about here is the all of us caring for each other. Humans, animals, plants, land, water, all of it, that we are mindful that we are all on this planet together, coexisting, co-creating each day. And so what is it that I can do not only to take care of myself, but to take care of the other humans in my life, the animals, the plants, the land, like being mindful of all that. Because I think like the reason we're living in a time of climate crisis and all of us having to be extra worried, extra anxious about sustainability and climate is because we have not been taking care of each other. We have especially not been taking care of the land. And to me, like those actions have been very selfishly motivated and also like corporate interests, of course, everything, capitalism, racism, everything. But if we were to genuinely remember that we are all sharing this planet together and everyone's thriving depends on us coexisting and really caring well for each other, then I really believe like we wouldn't be in this situation with the climate that we are in right now. So yeah, I think about how to me like the way we are going to get out of this or the way we're going to see some actual improvements and be able to thrive and live longer on this planet is by making very big changes each day but also very small changes in our lives to care better for each other and the animals and land and everything. So it feels overwhelming a lot of days. I feel like climate stress and climate anxiety is like, I feel like that just people mention that a lot these days. I'm sure you hear that all the time. And it's very, very concerning and we are in trouble, but we're never too far past caring for each other and extending love to everything and everyone around us. So I hope that we can do that.
Yeah, just keep it up. Just keep it up, man. But so how can people find you, follow you, listen to your podcast, learn from you?
Thank you. We're at feedingpeoplepodcast.com or widertables.com. Either one, you can find us there. We are on, the podcast is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And this is the first season we are video recording all of the podcasts as well. So you can watch us just like this on YouTube on Feeding People. I love it. Watching people on podcasts is like my new favorite thing, because that's what I want to like. I want to listen, of course, but I want to see their like reactions to each other and the way they talk. And so I love it. I love watching podcasts on YouTube. And then on Instagram, I love to share. I'm at _a Dolan, and I love to share about the podcast. I love to share about dinners I'm making when I have people over. My 3.5-year-old niece and I are like trying all the restaurants in the city. So I love to talk about that.
That's
and
great.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. She's the best eater. So I'm just like, what are we going to do today?
Okay. And so in Amy Dolan fashion, what's for dinner tonight?
Oh, yes, the best question. So I recently saw this recipe in, I don't know if you know the Defined Dish. She's such a fun follow on Instagram. She has a new cookbook out, and I saw this recipe, so I made it tonight. It's a spaghetti squash with, normally I'm not a fan of spaghetti squash. It's very like, I mean, it's fine. It's just like a lot. It's very fussy to me. And that's one of the, I'm not a fuss. Like if something's going to take a lot of effort, it's not going to happen. You know, it's got to be delicious and simple. And spaghetti squash does not feel that to me, but I had to try this recipe. So it's spaghetti squash with sun-dried tomatoes, shiitake mushrooms, garlic, goat cheese, basil, and lemon. You kind of make it all into this pasta. Oh my gosh. It is so, it's so good. So I'm back into spaghetti squash.
Goat cheese for your husband?
Yes, of course. Always the cheese. Like, you're so nice to remember him like that. Thank you that you know that he's dairy free and vegan. That's so kind. Yes, always the cheese at the very end.
Does he have his own? Like, does he do the vegan cheese?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does the vegan cheese. Yep. It's pretty good too. It's come a long way. What about you? What are you doing for dinner?
No idea. Leftovers. Leftovers. I got one of my farms at the farmers market sends out an email every Friday, I think, and they do a recipe. Their farm manager has a degree in, like, she was a baker, I think, and so she always puts a recipe in on Fridays, and so they did their thing during the summer is like roasting peppers. So if you buy peppers, they would roast them for you.
Oh, I love that.
Market, which is so cool. And in the winter, of course, they don't do it, but they have some frozen ones left over. And so they were saying it's a hot pepper Alfredo. And so I was at the farmer's market and I'm like, what's on my list? I've got to get the goat cheese and the blah, blah, blah. You know, they said use half and half, or one of the particular farmers, Winter Hill Farm, they have raw milk, and it had like the first 2 or 3 inches of the jug of milk is like creamy, and they're like, just don't shake it up, just put that in. Like, oh my God, so amazing. But so I made that, and so we have some like mashed potatoes.
That sounds amazing. That sounds so good.
Yeah, it was something else.
Yum.
They're like, yeah, goat cheese and cream cheese or blah blah blah, like, you know, mix it up. Lots of cheeses at the farmer's market.
Yes, can't go wrong with that.
Peppers and
and
I made a ton. So putting it on everything.
That sounds so good.
Potatoes, because we still have them left over. That's
I'll
us.
just talk about food all day. I sometimes at night I start thinking about breakfast, and I'll say to my husband, like, so what are you thinking for breakfast? He's like, nothing. It's like 7 p.m. I'm like, okay, I'll check in at 8.
You think about it, we'll talk again.
Exactly.
I know I caught you off guard, but
there's always another meal coming to think about.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm always I'm eating one meal. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to take something out for dinner tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, what are we going to do for breakfast? I mean, I make a frittata every weekend so that we can just like
Ooh,
heat it up, and breakfast is easy during the week when we're all busy. But
that's a great idea.
yep, it's a great idea. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love all you're doing.
Thank you. I love all you're doing. And listen, when Amy's unite, I mean, you don't even know the magic that's going to happen.
Look out. Awesome. So yeah, Feeding People podcast, you guys, and Feeding People podcast, check it out. And _A Dolan on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
I just want to take a second to thank my guest again for speaking with me and sharing such great information. I love having these conversations with folks. I also want to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast, for Jane Bolduck and her music genius, for Becca Coffron and her award-winning artwork. And thank you for listening. I appreciate that so much. Please check out the show notes for any links and extra information. And if you would like to follow my guest and find out more about them, I'm sure they would love the follow. And if you don't mind leaving a rating or review wherever you're listening, and just help to get this podcast in front of new eyes, that would be amazing. I would really love that. And feel free to reach out to me on the socials and let me know what you're thinking. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know that. I would love to have a conversation with you about sustainability. All right. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of the week.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, how do I get there from here? 'Cause here and now I'm so far down that mercy's bound to find me. We'll find a way to soothe the sickness. We'll heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here and now I'm so far down, and mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, well, there'll be music, ooh, and good friends around me, yeah, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears.